Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tabletop Union. This one's not quite an unboxing today. It's more of an unenveloping, just unpacking, I guess, because unenveloping is not a word. I've recently joined some Facebook groups for buying and selling, and this is sort of my first purchase, not in person, of not just like a box. It's just sprues in here, some instructions, and well, I'll show you. I've already looked at it because I had to make sure everything was okay, and I got to keep it face down this way because I don't want any information showing up on the internet. But that's all. So yeah, the guy I bought it off obviously had bought the Space Marine March of Iron Battle Force for the Iron Hands, and there were certain things that he didn't want, and so he sold them on, and it was a very good deal. I was just buying these two, the Primaris Tech Marine and Iron Father Pharaohs. Just put them up like that. And he also afterwards said to toss in the upgrade sprue. Now, I'm not planning on, as far as I know, I'm not planning on building an Iron Hands army, but there are parts of this that I can make use of. As for Iron Father Pharaohs, this is just one of my most favorite Primaris miniatures there is. I think he is dang cool, and I'm looking forward to putting him together. And if I make my own sort of chapter, I'll paint him in my colors and use them if I'm like, say, today my chapter is going to be a successor of Iron Hands. If I decide to go with like an existing one, I'm sort of vacillating between Dark Angels, Ultramarines, and Salamanders. And I guess I can talk about that a bit. I like one thing about the Ultramarines that appeals to me is that every sort of unit there is that's not specific to one chapter, it's not a bad idea to use them in Ultramarines. Like, they're not really pigeonholed into a certain style. They're the jack of all trades. And I just sort of want to collect the kits, paint them up, and have them. And maybe play with them, of course. So there's an appeal to that, but also to the Ultramarines. You see them everywhere. They're the poster boys, as has been said many times before. And also, I don't know if I want to paint blue that much. Salamanders, I like the lore of. I dislike all the sort of flame motifs they've got going on. And they're also kind of pigeonholed into like flamers and meltas and that being what you really want. And then Dark Angels. I don't know what they're going to be doing with Dark Angels. I think we're going to find out some pretty soon, but there's all those non-Primaris Dark Angels unique units, and I am not interested in non-Primaris Space Marines. You can tear me apart however you like for that. They do not appeal to me. They didn't appeal to me back in the 90s when I first started in the hobby, and they don't appeal to me now. It's just the Primaris that has actually made me go, hey, now this is something I like. So I need to see what they start doing when they start giving them, hopefully, Primaris upgrades for the unique stuff. Also, they're not as pigeonholed as, say, Salamanders, but like I have a feeling there's some Primaris units that it's poor idea to take them. Anyways, ramble over. Let's get on with this, looking at this. So the upgrade kit comes with 2 of these Iron Hands transfer sheets. You won't be able to see that super well because it's white on a very light blue, but some of these I can use, you know, just on anyone, like all these like different markings for the different battle line, close support, fire support, veterans command. You can use those. Skulls, good. Numbers, I'll have to look at which style of numbers I want. But yeah, like lieutenant, ancient, honor markings. There's lots on here that can be used. So those are good. Sorry, my dog has a bit of a cold and she's been coughing, so I had to pause for a minute there. And here we have the upgrade kit. It's like the sprue. There's 2 of them. I'll look at this one because it's less bent, it seems. Okay, let's try this again. So here's the sprue. You got, you know, the different shoulders with the sculpted icon of them on them for the Iron Hands. I don't like sculpted icon shoulders personally, because it just makes it look weird when you have ones that aren't sculpted and just transfers. Plus, I think the transfers kind of look better. But these are pretty good if that's your thing. So I won't be using these, I don't think, because otherwise they're just very Iron Hands looking. We got some purity seals here, little cogs at the top instead of like the wax seal. I might be able to use these, maybe on like a vehicle or something. We got this shoulder here, that's like the studded one. Never been a huge fan of that look, but maybe it'll show up. Then we got some heads, and I think I could use these heads. I'm not against my guys having like bionics, and otherwise they're not really anything saying that these are only Iron Hands and nothing else. So that's good. We got a weapon here with a bionic hand. Cool. We have the pointing bionic arm. Cool. And we have some stuff that, little gauges and stuff that can go on belts, which also cool. And a little tilting shield with the hand. I mean, I guess I could scrape off the hand, but I just don't think it's worth the effort. So, you know, about half of this I can use. So we got those 2. And next, we'll look at Iron Father Pharos. So, yeah. He's in Gravis armor, so he's got the nice big chunky boots and the sort of cowl around his head, the armored cowl. He's got a very fancy backpack. There's a gun mounted on top of it with the sweet ammo feed. He's got, looks like 2 claws, 2 servo arm claws. He's bedecked in all sorts of cogged shoulders and knee pads and stuff. I'm not sure if I use him, if I make my own chapter and I paint him in my chapter, I'm not sure if I will keep the hand there or try and scrape it off. Probably try and scrape it off, but we'll see. He's got this big 2-handed like power axe, I guess. Power polearm, power halberd. And he's got a nice sort of armored tabard thing going on too. So yeah, little hoses and stuff. He's just a very cool model. I like him a lot. And here we have the Tech Marine, which, you know, is shares a lot of things with Iron Father Pharaohs in terms of design cues, because he's sort of a real souped up, awesome tech marine. When I first saw this kit, I thought it was great. I was like, yes, that is some good stuff. It's got a little sculpted base bit, a very detailed chest. He's also got his own two-handed power axe thing. And he's got a claw on an arm with also this little drill. He's got a tentacle with a claw. I think it's, what is it, a mechadendrite? And he's got a bolter as well. And he can be equipped with this weapon, which I'm not sure what kind of weapon that is. Maybe it's like a graviton type or a rad type. I don't know. You can build him in two separate ways. You can choose to have him like this, where he's pointing the gun. Or you can choose to have him like this, where he's sort of like got his hand like this, and the claws, and this claw is like mimicking it. So it's like he's like directing the claw to act like that, which I think is kind of cool. But also, like, pointing weapon is cool. So I haven't decided how I want to build that yet. Either way is good. At least they included a holster for if you decide to do the hand. They've got a holster with the gun in it. And if you do it the other way, it's an empty holster. So, good attention to detail. Anyways, I'm probably not going to build these right away, but I wanted to show you the goodies I got. So, hope that was interesting. Any questions or comments? What do you think about the kits? What do you think about my dislike of Firstborn? You know, feel free to yell at me in the comments. All right, so thanks for joining me for this. Hope you have a great day. Bye.